Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we talk to Andre, who is bleaching his hair with a toothbrush. Because that's how you bleach things. Is it? I don't know. It's a pleasure to meet you, he says. I'm gonna shake his hand. His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably anodic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
There's no need, the place is pretty bad.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dope heads. Burnouts.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that, in Revachol.
Strike that, the world!
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dope heads and burnouts really are. Good, says our rhetoric. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those. What kind? The spooky kind, says Andre. Oh. Could those be the people that we sent back to the Whirling in Rags? What exactly do you mean by spooky? I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community center and a place of spiritual refuge. And also they don't heat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that. Thank you, Egghead. He turns to you. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter, getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for. Well, I'll look into it. Tell me more. All right, man. He clasps his hands enthusiastically. Andre is obviously very happy you took him seriously, says our empathy. The whole tent is. The boys exchange giddy looks. Yeah, Acel told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why? Oh, you met her. So you met her. Good. He's not as glad as he would like you to think, says our empathy. There's concern in his voice. I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation. Oh, that was Andre talking. Noid says, I had to do it in a hurry, not my best work, but it should hold for a while. Yeah, I need the key. Of course. Noid, give the officer the key. All right. The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. I'm gonna let it fall on the floor and then pick it up like a normal adult person. But I kind of want this. But it's 42%. Nobody succeeds at 42%. It's impossible. Noid watches you pick the key up with a smirk. He's laughing at himself because he's an idiot. How long have those people been locked in there? Not long, like a week maybe? Wait, locked in there? You locked them in? No. What? How can you be sure they haven't starved to death? The eating is the least important bit? Water? If you don't drink for 2 days, you're dead. If you don't drink for a day, you're not dead. That's how long is it for dehydration to set in? Is it 3 days? It might be 3 days rather than 2 days. I'm sure they're alive, says Andre. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90, maybe 85% they're still alive. 85% is not good enough when you're dealing with another person's physical well-being. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I guess it wasn't very hardcore of us to just lock them in like that. Me too. I shouldn't have that kind of power over another person. I'm not the one with the violence monopoly here. You are. I'm glad that key is out of my hands now. He's referring to me as being a cop, by the way, if that wasn't obvious. Right. Other questions? Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Who exactly are these people inside the church? Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. You haven't even seen them and you want the police involved? Well, he leans in for another emphasis, There's also the machinery. This machinery is of the deeply mystical variety, says our Inland Empire. When I first scouted the place back in February, it was abandoned, empty. It took some time getting the crew together, so about 2 weeks ago we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly there are all these strange machines lying around in there. One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it. Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark. No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg. Oh, felt like silence, awful silence. For this man, even regular silence is awful enough, but that was something greater, says our empathy. But you haven't physically seen anyone, have you? Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times we felt someone or something eyeing us inside, but that's kind of it. A woman, red hair maybe? A lorry woman? Sure, why not? Yeah. But not really, the other one adds. Brown hair, old, heavy and dark signs. Or heavy dark signs, he says. So which one is it? What Noid said. So, brown and older. Ruby might have dyed her hair? Though it seems like a stretch at this point, says our logic. Yeah. What was that about something watching you? Like, you aren't alone, you know? It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean. Not human, says our rhetoric. As in a ghost? Do you know what he means? Says our rhetoric, no. It was dark. It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling like some kind of crabman. A crabman? Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling like a crab. Do crabs climb in the ceilings? 'Cause I don't think they do. The other one agrees. It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior. Are you sure there was a crabman? Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. Estelle was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there. You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab. The implications of this are, our Inland Empire says, too numerous to consider. Proceed with caution. Learn all you can before entering that dark building. There probably is no crabman, says our logic. Don't let them draw you in with this nonsense. Can you tell me more about this machinery? Actually, I don't need that. Time is also of the essence. So how can you be sure they're burnouts and dopeheads if you haven't seen them yet? Well, honestly, I can't, but I am. This is a below feeble attempt at avoidance, says our rhetoric. Basically, he's attempting to weaponize idiocy. Whoa, you can't? But you do. I should add weaponized idiocy to my repertoire. Hey now, he furrows his brow. I'm 70% sure they're substance abusers. Don't let all that technology fool you. He makes little quotation marks with his fingers when he says technology. Yes, I noticed. Where do you think drugs come from? The computer? Where do you think they come? What the heck do you mean? What is that? Sure, whatever. Alright, let's talk about something else. Sure, what? So what's the deal with Haghead? I want to talk to him. He's a quiet man. Mostly communicates through music and by being a master of ceremonies. How do you communicate with him? Well, he shrugs. He's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him. Have you ever really talked to him? Yeah, sometimes when I, stumble and find my way into his center. You have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first, though. The man, Egghead, smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for himself. I get it. He's a puzzle, says our interfacing. You mentioned some kind of Ecclesiastes You mentioned some kind ecclesiastics or Ecclesiastes own the church. Who are these Ecclesiastes? Oh yeah, that's a Meteoran name for the founding party. Thought it'd be cool to use it. If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery, says our rhetoric. I should know what the founding party is, because I think we heard of it. Before we go, what do you mean by Meteoran? Yeah, I don't know that one, though. Huh, I think I know about that. Let's ask the Meteoran. You know, of Mateo? Concerning Mateo? No. Mateo, a country. On Mundi? He looks at you, squinting his eyes to see if you're kidding. On the Mundi, Isola. Now humor me, Andre. What is the founding party? Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know. I can't give you a precise definition, but they're a very powerful religious organization. And they have roots in ancient mass society, he says. They're the custodians of the Pericarnassian church. Plus they anoint the innocents. They made the innocentic system? No? I think this has to do with the ruling system, and I'm not really sure how that works. Although it could be just like the Pope or something. Now, Andre, in your opinion, would this ancient religious organization who anoints the innocents want a club for anotic music in one of their churches? Totally! There isn't a trace of doubt in his voice. The Pericarnassian church is about love, says Egghead. Anotic music is about love. I got love for my Pericarnassian posse. Love is the relay out of death. We dance. He violently shakes the tape player as if to see if he can break it. Love is hardcore. Unity, says Noid. Unity, says Andre. Make some noise for my Insulinian posse, says Egghead. He turns the volume up and then looks at you with a knowing nod, as if it's obvious you will now break into dance. You feel it. That's good. The anodes and the cathodes cursing through you. Your big toe starts stepping along to the bass as if testing the waters. I don't quite understand what you're talking about. What's a posse? Your posse's... Oh, this is Egghead talking. Your posse's like your people, man. Like you got your cop posse. You look out for each other and you party together. That's a posse. And where is your posse, detective? Asks our esprit de corps. Nothing comes to you. The world is silent. It sounds like you're just saying random... I'm not gonna antagonize them. Although, should I? Nah, I shouldn't. I now understand it was lame of me to suggest otherwise. Anotic music is about love, and so is the Pericarnassian church. Yeah! Yekokata, the place to be, says Egghead. He seems ecstatic that you share his vision of Pericarnassianism. Do it for the masses, do it for the crew, says Noid. His friend forms a fist with a screwdriver still in his hand, approvingly so. I didn't want to say it, but it was pretty lame of you to imply otherwise. Anyway, you got more questions? The one with a large head is still looking at you, nodding his head, waiting for your body to start moving. Our horrific necktie says, yeah, let it out. Let the disco happen. Bring the disco into this world. Get this church shit and on. Get this church shit on and then dance there, motherfucker. And our composer says, you feel like you could go for a little disco when or if they get this club going. You've got it on you. Or you've got it in you. That's it for now. Be careful in there, officer. And tell us how it goes, yeah? We'll be there. I will talk to a cell, though. Because well, it's... Did I get the key? No, I did get the key. That's the jerk threw the key at me. Hey, Kim.
Yes?
I have big news, Kim. Oh, wait. This is about my, Didn't I just stop thinking about other people's sexuality? Isn't that what happened? This is about my thing that I did, that I thought about. This homosexual underground. What is it that I can say to Kim? Tell Kim about how you no longer obsess over your sexuality. What does that mean? I thought it was about other people's sexuality. Maybe you should stop obsessing about your own. Oh, right. I've... What exactly does that mean? Now that I see that line over there, I thought this was supposed to be like, you as Harry Dwa, concerning himself as with whether other people are homosexual or not, specifically homosexual because we have the homosexual underground, and then he just decides, I'm not gonna worry about that. It's not my business. But I think this is sort of the opposite of that. Well, it's not necessarily the opposite, but it comes from the other side. Instead of because when you you can obsess with your own sexuality if you're obsessing with your heterosexuality. That's still you obsessing over your sexuality. It's just like, oh, I'm not gonna kiss that man over there in the cheek or whatever, because I'm heterosexual, or I'm not gonna, I don't know, say nice things about their clothes because I'm heterosexual. That's still obsessing with your sexuality. It just comes from the other side. And I think specifically with that, in the sense that it is possible that Harry Dubois isn't heterosexual and he just hasn't come out because he obsesses over his sexuality. But from the other side, right, from like being, oh no, I'm not gonna do this because I'm heterosexual. You know what I mean? Maybe. I would think so, because this is specifically homosexual, though. So maybe he's, let's say that. Let's see what Kim has to say. Maybe I'm right in my understanding of what the writing is supposed to be about. Okay, he says. I have managed to stop obsessing about my sexuality. This is weird, because he didn't obsess over his sexuality. Mysterious strangers in the night, leaning against unlit doorways, engaged in hushed conversation. A shadowy cabal, exchanging looks, whispering in the dark alleys and unmarked locales. I'm still gonna say that. Let's see what Kim says. Great. Imagine all the time you'll have for work now. As a matter of fact, we should get back to it right now. Yes. Just one thing, though. What? Well, I want to ask that, but I wouldn't ask that if I were... I want to ask that because I want to see where the conversation is going. Are you part of the homosexual underground? What does that even mean? Does it mean that this setting is what the world was like in the 70s and 60s? And then it would have to be part of the underground if you wanted to be a homosexual at all, because you couldn't come out. And I say in the 60s and 70s, and I mean throughout most time. Let's say that. You didn't stop at all, did you? You were just obsessing about other people's sexuality. Now. Yeah, I thought... yeah, but I am, he says. I'll spare you another 20-hour mind project. I'll spare another 20-hour mind project. Yes, I am. Now let's get back to work. That's the truth, says our drama. Thanks, Kim. I was right in asking. Yay! Hey. The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up at you. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us? With the church, I mean.
Yeah, I'll help you, all right.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see there? Oh, that. You're not gonna believe me. There's no point in me telling you. She's less prone to blurting out crabmen than the others, says our rhetoric. We'll see. Go ahead and tell me. Okay, she nods. I went in and saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's being raised by their grandmother, you know? Strange old clothes. Had this absent expression. Didn't say anything. Just stood still. Go on. And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down, like a crab. Down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor and then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story. Like a crab, you say, says Kim. Yeah, crabs don't walk upside down. I'm pretty sure they don't. Spiders do. The lieutenant nods. I suppose. His face is stone. What did this crab man look like? It was too dark. She shakes her head. I couldn't tell exactly. Come on, says our drama. She obviously could. She already went into the tale. You were wrong. I do believe you. She raises a brow. Why? Well, what would you stand to gain? Nothing, she says. Anyway, what else? We're gaining experience left and right. And we actually gained levels. This is great. I don't know where the levels are, but we're going to put some points in there later. I'd like to know more about your associates. My associates? She blows on her chilled fingers. I haven't got much to say about them. What do you mean? You must know something about them. Of course I do. I just don't tell people about my friends and who they are and so on. I don't provide information on them. To the cops, says our rhetoric. What about you? Tell me something about yourself. Me? I'm a silverbird. Okay. Maybe I'll ask later about all this. Don't know what makes you think it'll be any different later, but I need to get Estelle to talk about her associates. What's that device you have there? This? She breathes on her freezing fingers. It's a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still. And the wires? Actually, just one wire. I picked up on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone. Oh, what's a contact microphone? A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice. Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping, says our interfacing. How does that thing work? The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The box said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble. Where'd you get the mic from? Same place I got the recorder from, the Elysium. What's that? Oh man, you haven't been to the Elysium? She forgets herself for a moment. It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck. Thinking about it really cheers her up, says her empathy. It's a long way from here, though. Sounds interesting. Who's this Arno guy? Oh, yeah. She looks you over, assessing your age. Guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or maybe, or really be a Elysium-going kind of person. I get down. I don't know what that means. I grind. I don't know what that means either. Also, that means so many different things in so many different contexts. It means I'm hip beyond my years. That's cool. She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has deserted me. She looks at you oddly. Sucks, man. She squints her eyes for a second, trying to remember something, and then lets go of it. Was there something else about the contact mine, perhaps? No, actually not. Okay. Actually, that's it for now. It is it for now, because we're out of time for the day. So let me lower the volume of the game there, because she speaks so quietly. And let's go to the church and meet the Crabman in the next episode. For right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.